All right, let's talk. Today, we're going to do a quick but really crucial health check. We're looking at a part of your pharmacy that, let's be honest, is probably just running on autopilot, your in-house delivery process. We're going to hold a mirror up to that trusted, familiar system and see what's really looking back at us. So let me just start by asking you this, point blank. Once a prescription leaves your pharmacy, once it's out the door, how much visibility do you really have? What can you actually prove about that delivery? It sounds like a simple question, right? But the answer, or, the lack of an answer, it says everything about the health of your delivery operation. Okay, so let's start by looking at that familiar, trusted model. We're not here to say it's broken. For so many community pharmacies, it's just, well, it's the way it's always been done. And hey, for good reason. The workflow has always been pretty straightforward, right? It's manual, and for a long, long time, it got the job done. A patient needs a delivery, one of your trusted staff members takes it out, and the community gets served. It's a system built on two things: trust and simplicity. But what does that workflow actually look like when you put it under a microscope? Let's break it down. Let's dissect the anatomy of a typical delivery, that low-tech, step-by-step process you probably go through every single day. So it starts with a phone call or a patient stopping by, then a staff member, maybe a tech, maybe an assistant, gets assigned the drop-off. The documentation, it's usually pretty minimal, right? An informal note, maybe a line in a paper logbook. You might get a signature on that log, you might not. And then that piece of paper gets filed away in some cabinet and poof, the delivery's considered complete. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's the baseline for thousands of pharmacies out there. So we've walked through the process. Now, let's talk about the scary part, the hidden risks. What's missing from this picture? Because believe me, what you don't see, what you can't prove, that can create some major exposure for your business. And let's be super clear here. The problem isn't your staff. Your team is dedicated, they're trustworthy. The real issue is all the data, all the proof, that basically just vanishes into thin air the second that delivery leaves the building. It's about everything that's just not being captured. So think about it. What's missing? There's no GPS data. No way to prove the route taken. There's no precise, time-stamped record of the actual handoff. You've got no way to give a patient a real-time status update if they call. And maybe the biggest thing, there's no structured way to verify identity or to get an automated digital proof of delivery. These aren't just little gaps, you guys. These are gaping black holes in your audit trail. And that brings us to the million-dollar question. When a patient calls and says, "Hey, I never got my delivery," or when an auditor shows up asking for proof of delivery for a controlled substance from 6 months ago, what do? I mean, how solid is your proof when all you've got is a signature, maybe, on a dusty piece of paper in a filing cabinet somewhere? You see where this is all going, right? It all points to one conclusion. We're looking at a system that, yeah, it was reliable in the past, but it was fundamentally built for yesterday's world. It just wasn't designed for the demands of today and definitely not tomorrow. Let's really look at its core characteristics. So what are we really looking at? We've got a system that is totally manual and paper-based. It relies almost 100% on trust, which means it has extremely limited visibility and traceability. It gives you zero useful data to improve your operations. Why? Because it was never, ever designed to handle a growing delivery business. Let's put this into really stark terms. You need to track a delivery. Your method is a phone call. You're just relying on someone's memory. You need proof of delivery? It's a paper signature, and that's if you're lucky. Your entire audit trail lives in a physical filing cabinet. And status updates? They're completely reactive. You only find out there's a problem when an anxious patient is on the phone. Here it is. This is the bottom line. The system you're using was designed for small delivery volumes, not for scale. The process that worked perfectly for 5 deliveries a day becomes a massive bottleneck and a huge source of risk the second you're trying to do 50. It's actually working against your ability to grow. So, after this whole health check, what's the final diagnosis? Well, it's pretty clear. It's time to start looking ahead, to start thinking about what the future of pharmacy operations really demands from us. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Think about it. With patient expectations for Amazon-level service getting higher every day, and with compliance demands getting stricter every single year, is the system that was good enough yesterday really good enough for tomorrow? Is it good enough to protect your business and to help it grow? That's the question you've got to ask yourself.